Decked Out. At this point, especially if you clicked on this video, you already know what it is. It's a dungeon game made by this beautiful man right here, Mr. Tang of the tech variety. A complex game made entirely in survival by only small assisting tools and textures. Yeah, only a genius could make something like that with redstone, right? I can't even make a light go on and off, imagine a whole game. But building I can. Well, I think. After watching a lot of lives, I got an idea. I will try to recreate a level one for one in its entirety. So, welcome, I'm Fireflies. If you can endure my accent, follow me into the journey I'm about to go and bring you along, because as for right now, I only have an idea of what to do, and it's not going to be an easy task. So, shall we? At this point, the game is in full swing, and the only people able to play are the hermits and some guests, as you may already know. That being the case, there's no way for me to go there and actually look through the dungeon. Yeah, there's no world download yet, so if I want to do anything, I have to do it myself. In Decked Out, you have 4 levels. Level 1 consists of icy caves and a crypt. Level 2 is made out of all sorts of stuff: lava, mushroom, dripstone, spiders, and even a whole lake with a pirate ship. Level 3 is a multi-level mineshaft, the first level where the enemy is the warden. And then level 4 that was unlocked by finding all hermit Easter eggs throughout the dungeon. I don't think you guys need any more explanation, so I'm going to focus on level 3, the Black Mines. The Black Mines are big, but most of it are small tunnels and rooms. It's at least more manageable than level 2 or level 4. Level 1 might be doable too, but because of the natural formations, it may be a little difficult. For level 3, I think if I find many hermit runs with Tango running as the cameraman behind, without the blindness effect of the wardens, I might be able to recreate it for the most part. Yeah, I'm not just basing it on the real thing, and then doing what I think it is. Without redstone, I am doing the real map and watching hours and hours of content to catch every single block present. In the end, I hope I can finish the level in a almost perfect one for one. We will have some issues, and I don't think I will be able to recreate it 100%. But for now, let me start and see how stuff is going to work. Well, just by doing this test, I can already say that it's going to be hard. Who would have thought that the Black Mines, where everyone gets blinded by wardens, would be, well, dark, with YouTube's compression rate and the intentional dark ambience. It's so gosh darn hard to make sense of what's going on. There are so many dark spots, especially when there's coke present. When that happens, in the VOD, everything just turns into a dark blur. So if something like this happens, I have almost nothing to work with. Depth of perception is impossible in this case, and many others, but it has to be done in a way or another. So I will have to deal with that and work it out as I go. So let's do it. Look at me walking really fast down there. It may look weird how the dungeon is taking shape, and this is what I can see while he spectates a run. If you see a part missing or the room just have some stuff done, it means that he didn't show the rest while following the player around. So keep that in mind. I feel like those lasers that contractors use to map out their house and work on it digitally, where the lasers don't see what's behind a door frame or a cabinet. So yeah. There are some places that I have never noticed that are literally underneath each other. It's wild how watching people play, you don't really have the complete idea of the layout. But it's alright, I think I will be able to pull this off. If you are wondering how I'm doing this, I chose a random run that spent a lot of time in level 3 and seemed to make a big loop without backtracking much, so I can get a base of the layout and size of the dungeon. This way I have a better chance to match end to end. As of which one? Right now I'm following a Tango cam of a Ito run. It's kinda cool to see it from afar and how it all flows, how the path he took through the level takes shape. They spend a long time down here, but because of the blindness and the level layout, you may not realize how much they traverse through the level. It's a lot. In the beginning it was just an estimation since I don't know much of the layout, but in this run, Ito almost didn't walk the first floor and rarely looped back in the same corridor or room. You can really see how the compass affects your pattern. This run was almost perfect for me to start, but let me work a little more. Many hours in, and all I can say is wow, the attention to detail is amazing. If you miss a single block, all dimensions go out of whack. I don't even know how many hours I have been starting into a dark dungeon with a little tango head in the corner at 0.25 speed. We still have a lot to go. I have no idea how I'm going to deal with the open areas from each end of the dungeon, or even the ceilings, because as I expected, people just don't look up. It's something that always happens in gaming. If you played Portal, you know that damn well, and the hermits are no different. If you see a shot of the ceiling, it's 900 meters away in the dark, or the rest are bound to Zeda's head. These are almost the only moments where you can catch a glimpse of what goes above the heads. For the most part, it's only floor staring and a little bit of the walls. Sometimes I think Tango is playing with me when he goes through the open room in the middle, looking 45 degrees down to minecart rails, and I just can't see anything around. I'm going crazy because of that. I expected some parts I will never be able to find a video reference of how they look like, so in the end I will probably have to make an educated guess when push comes to shove. The same goes for those dark blues that I said earlier. I saw so many by now that I had no idea of which blocks go where, and those black scope that you just can't make heads or tails where everything goes. It's wild, but well, anyways, I'm almost finishing this Ito run, so let's keep trucking. Okay, This is the last part where Ito finally loops around the entire dungeon through Warden's hazarded out stairs and it doesn't match. Can you see it? These rails. It should be 3, not 2. Why? Why it doesn't match? Why? I tried so hard and got so far. I did all of this, and how I will be able to find where I messed up? It's not the first time, but the other ones where it didn't connect were always something small and simple to fix. But I already did all of this from the beginning. The mistake could be anywhere. Wait, the beginning? Huh. Seems like only this area is off. Let me look around for a bit. This is a hazard trap. I don't know for how long I am looking, but I found it. This thing, I made it wrong. It should be like this, not this. Whew, crisis averted. Now everything matches perfectly. I'm not gonna lie, I was almost giving up. Whew, this is the hardest Lego set I have ever built in my life. My gosh. Many hours later, and this is everything that I could see in one single run. But if I know anything by now, even with the matching issues, this was the easy part. Finding what's not here will be a lot harder and time consuming. But well, I'm in too deep and there's no turning back. Now I have to mine in the depths of many lives to find what's missing and fill the holes. Wish me luck. I think I'm going to need it. I thought I was going to record a time lapse of me just finishing the dungeon, but it turns out it's really hard to record anything when you are going around a lot, putting just a few blocks at a time and then changing to another place completely, instead of working in a single room. But it's finished, it's all here, everything is done. Ha, pretty amazing, huh? As I expected, some parts are impossible to see, and others changed with time as the game matured and was needed. Like these railings, at some point, because the wardens kept getting stuck on them, or that this drop chute became 3x3 instead of 5x5, because Kirby was hitting the remaining basalt after the explosion to level 4 too much, or that this lapis room had a water source right here, I guess for people to jump from up there, that I had no idea that connected with this place, but it was taken out at some point. I don't know for sure when. Since nobody is actually playing on this map, I don't really need to care about this kind of stuff, so I try to keep the beginning aesthetic vision pure, but that's not always the case. Maybe you think I should have done all the map updates, but when you are more than days into this, the lives melt together and you have no idea what's updated and what's the old version. So even trying to recreate day one decked out, there's probably some parts that I only found visual evidence after they were changed. Even though I chose to put all the pressure plates around, because they were vital for the gameplay of the dungeon. I may be the only one that will ever notice or care about this, so let's talk about something else. While doing something like this, you'll find some little gems that no one will never see. Like, do you know that this crack on the beginning has 3 chain paths? I never knew that. I thought was only 2. Or small things like this block here in the lapis lazuli cart. It's a chiseled stone brick. There's no other anywhere near here. Why is this here? A leftover on Kangol's inventory maybe? But anyway, did you ever notice that this from the transition tunnel isn't symmetrical? Sorry. And of course, we have many stuff like this. Tango didn't put a block behind these stairs, and you can see outside of the dungeon. Yeah, there's a couple of these redstone holes, like these blackstone walls have nothing behind them. Don't believe me? See? But it's to be expected. This map is huge, many people don't realize and think that level 3 is small compared to the others, but it's big, really big, and really detailed. No one will probably ever see those, and they don't affect gameplay, so who cares? And as you guys are already watching, walking around like this is amazing. Really feels like I'm there on the real thing, just without all the magic redstone stuff behind it all. Talking about redstone and other stuff, a friend can buy, and since I can't do anything technical to save my life, while I was doing this, I paid the guy a little bit of sand and air for a little help, and he agreed. No. I just explained what I was working on and he decided to help. Nothing too major, just a little help will be fine. And he went wild. See, recreating level 3 wasn't the only thing I was working on. Now, let me show you the new parts of the Black Mines. With the help of Kamna, we made new areas to level 3 and tried to expand the level, not only in lore, but in gameplay as well. To the back of the drill room these are drills, right? And those are cannons. So they were fighting against the wardens before succumbing to the darkness? Don't know. Anyway, this way there's a corridor forgotten in time, a relic from the old miners. The Great Hall, a place made to spend time and keep the miners' morale up. They were mining incredible hard rocks days on end after all. We don't need them to be sad just because they have black lung, do we? A place that was once full of life, workers drinking, eating, playing, the place where they slept. Now empty and overturned in the chaos of the monsters from beneath. Watch your step. If your hazard is high enough, maybe you will step in something that makes too much noise for you to react. Almost seems like traps made to deal with the blind monsters. Did the miners really know what they were dealing with, or did something else make their home down here after? That's why that well-maintained house down here exists. By the way, this was one of the hardest places to find a run where the hermits come here. Thanks, Joe. Maybe if you keep looking, you might find that besides the dark monsters wandering these corridors, you are not alone down here. And with the right price, you could get something to help you escape or manipulate those wardens in your favor. This is the Dwarven Library. Maybe not even the miners that created the Black Mines knew its existence, even being so close to the operations. A place that is even older than the antique abandoned mine, filled with knowledge from ancient creatures. Who would they be? No one will never know. Somehow some of this knowledge made its way to the top by one reason or another. How to manipulate creatures to do their own bidding, how to summon new beasts to populate the dungeon. Maybe the dungeon master has something to do with this place, and maybe someone researching about iron golems got really close to uncovering everything. But since the mine fell into darkness, the thin wall that sealed this void shut crumbled by the heavy steps from the abyssal creatures. The warders came in and made this giant cavern their homes as well, breaking out an incredible curse that sealed the fate of pirates looking for treasure. One warden in particular developed quite the liking for this quiet area. Avoid him, otherwise this place may seal your fate one way or another. If your artifact lies amidst the books, you have no choice to go all the way in, since when you step in this place, the only exit is closed off and the sound is heard by the monsters. Your only option is to find the lever and open it again. Will you survive? I don't think so. And that's it. Honestly, I wanted to do more. I had 2 more rooms planned, one with a passageway from level 3 to level 1 and the other trying to expand on the idea of the forge, but inside the dungeon. But the end of the game was announced and yeah, I took too long to build this. If you guys end up wanting more, I will try to make a follow-up video, but as for right now, what a project. Hours and hours of this dark place. This was Decked Out Black Mines, recreated entire by video reference. I am crazy to do this knowing the world download will eventually come. Yeah, but we wanted to do something extra, stuff that Cameron and I thought would make fun additions to the game, even if they aren't feasible in reality for a reason or another. You can balance it in many different ways, but I will let you guys think about that. I'm ready to do something else right now. Anyway, even if it would never work, sometimes you get that itch to do this kind of stuff. Well, at least I do. Anyway, out of respect, I won't be making a word download or anything like that, so you'll have to wait a little bit more for the real thing. In any case, I hope you liked this video and enjoyed me for this long. This is Fireflies, and have a nice day. Bye!